A number of times in the Quran has spoken about the Tashrif Awari, the Ahmad of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. In one ayat of the Quran, Allah Almighty said, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ. Allah Almighty said, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ. It is He who sent His Prophet بِالْهُدَى with guidance. Allah Almighty in the Quran said that He sent the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah Almighty didn't say He created the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. He didn't say هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ رَسُولَهُ. He didn't say He created. He said هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ. And the word arsala in the Arabic language, its masdar is irsal. Do you know what irsal means? It means to send. For somebody to send a letter to someone, the letter has to first exist before it is sent. If you're going to send a letter, how can you send a letter when the letter is not even there? True, isn't it? You can only send a letter when the letter is there. Allah Almighty says, it is He who sent His Prophet. For Allah Almighty to send His Prophet, it means the Prophet ﷺ was there. Nabi ﷺ was there, then Allah Almighty sent him. Allah Almighty sent Nabi ﷺ in the year 570 AD. In the year 570 AD, Allah Almighty sent Nabi ﷺ and the Jamhur Qawl, the majority opinion, on a Monday, Yawmul Ithnain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Nabi ﷺ on the 12th in the month of Rabi'ul Awwal. Allah Almighty sent Nabi ﷺ there, but Nabi ﷺ existed before then. When Nabi ﷺ was asked, Mata kunta nabiyyan, Ya Rasulullah, when were you a Nabi? These nadan, jahil, gumrah hazrat, misguided, ignorant, deviant, lost cases, they say, and I say it openly, and I challenge as well. Where are they from? What's the area called? Spackman's Way. It's a challenge to Spackman's Way. Send who you like, whenever you like, wherever you like. We, the Sunnis, are always ready. Ya Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah.
अपने नबी के दीवाने, हम प्यारे नबी के दीवाने, हम सोने नबी के दीवाने, हम अपने नबी के दीवाने। सैयदी मुर्शिदी या नबी या नबी, सैयदी मुर्शिदी या नबी या नबी।
Spackman's Way, I'll box you like Pac-Man. You know who the Pac-Man is? Manny Pacquiao. We'll do better than Pacquiao. You know why I say it? Because throughout the history of Islam, Ahlul Sunnah has challenged these people and said, come, let's talk. You know what the funny thing is? They will sit on YouTube, they will sit on Facebook, Twitter. They will poison, misguide our young brothers and sisters. But when it comes to dialogue, they're not ready to dialogue. They're ready to talk. I'm not saying debate. Dialogue. Brother, let's talk. Like, brother, let's sit down, talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. All they want to do is, in their own little areas, they just want to take young people, whether through Facebook, and misguide them. No, it's a bid'ah, it's a shirk. The Sahaba never did it. The Quran doesn't mention it. Are you greater than a Sahabi? Are you greater than the Quran? The Prophet ﷺ never did it. Nowhere is it mentioned in Bukhari Sharif, therefore you can't do it. When they say that to you, you think, you know what, he's right. He's right. The Sahaba never did it. Give me proof. The Sunnis can't give proof. Therefore you can't do it. I'm going to break it down simply. However, Allah Almighty's Habib alayhi salatu wasalam was asked by Hazrat Jabir, Ya Rasulullah, when were you a prophet? These people said, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, al-iyazu billah, didn't know anything before the age of 40 years. They didn't know anything. They didn't have no knowledge. My answer to them, hatta the Sahaba and Nabi alayhi salam answered them. The Sahabi asked the question, when were you a prophet, O Allah Almighty Messenger? Nabi alayhi salam didn't say, Jabir, 40 years old. You was there. You accepted Islam. It's clear. Nabi alayhi salam didn't say that. Nabi alayhi salam didn't say, Jabir, I don't know when I was a prophet. They didn't say that. You know what Nabi alayhi salatu salam said, Ya Jabiru, kuntu nabiyyan wa adamu bayna al-ruhi wal-jasad. Oh my companions, let me tell you, you know when I was a Nabi, I was a Nabi even before Adam was created. Even Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said to them, I was a Nabi of Allah, not akunu. They said kuntu, I was a Nabi of Allah. When Adam, bayna ruhi wal jasad, when Adam was between body and soul, even before Allah blew the ruh into Adam alayhi salam's body, I was a Nabi of Allah then. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the ibtida' of nabuwwat. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the intiha of nabuwwat. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the opening of nabuwwat. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the akhir of nabuwwat. They were the khatam of nabuwwat, they are the khatam al-anbiya, and they are sayyidul anbiya. Mata kunta nabiyyan, I was a Nabi of Allah Almighty. When Adam was between body and soul, I was a Nabi of Allah. This is mentioned by Imam Muhammed in his Musnad. Other great muhaddithin have narrated this hadith. So Allah Almighty in the Quran said, it is He who sent His Prophet. It is He who sent His Prophet, not who created His Prophet. So Allah Almighty sent Nabi alayhi salam when? On the 12th of Rabiul Awwal, on a Monday, in the year 570 after Domini. Allah Almighty sent them then, but when did Allah create them? أَوَّلُ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ نُورِي. When did Allah create Nabi alayhi salam? When Nabi alayhi salam was asked this question, Nabi alayhi salam said, the first thing Allah created was my nur. And it was from my nur that Allah created everything. So Allah Almighty in the Quran talks about the arrival of Rasulullah. And in another ayat of the Quran, Allah Almighty said, لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعْثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا. No doubt, Allah Almighty favored the believers. Allah Almighty favored the believers when He sent ba'atha. You know what bi'athat means? It means the arrival, the coming, the sending. When Allah Almighty sent the Prophet ﷺ, Allah Almighty did a great ihsan upon the believers. Let me break this down for you, and then we will look at what is bid'ah. You know bid'ah? Bid'ah. This is bid'ah, that's bid'ah. Everything is a bid'ah, I tell you. Bid'ah. We will talk about what is bid'ah. And I will conclude my talk that no matter how much we praise Nabi alayhi salatu salam, that is in his own maqam, but we should practically become true Muslims. That will be at the end. Allah Almighty in the Quran said, لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. No doubt Allah Almighty favored the believers. You know this word manna has only been used once in this context. Manna in the Arabic language or in the English language is translated to as a favor. And in the Urdu language it's translated to as ihsan. Allah Almighty didn't say, لَقَدْ أَحْسَنَ. Allah Almighty did ihsan on the believer. Allah Almighty used a verb, a unique verb. Allah Almighty said, لَقَدْ مَنَّ. Allah Almighty did ihsan on the believers. You know what ihsan means? It means favor. Nowhere in the Quran Allah Almighty has mentioned He has done any favor. Halanki, how many blessings has Allah given us? Allah Almighty in the Quran said, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you was to count the blessings of Allah, you won't be able to put a number on them. That's how many blessings Allah has given. Brothers and sisters, Allah Almighty has given us the blessing of eyes. Allah Almighty has blessed us with ears. Allah Almighty has blessed us with a nose. Allah Almighty has blessed us with hands. Allah Almighty has blessed us with skin. Allah Almighty has blessed us with the moon. Allah Almighty has blessed us with the stars. Allah Almighty has blessed us with the sun. Allah Almighty has blessed us with the mountains. Allah Almighty has blessed us with all of these blessings. Allah Almighty has blessed us with all of these blessings. Such a blessing like air and water. We can't live without water. We can't breathe without air. If you can't breathe, you can't live. Allah Almighty has blessed us with blood. Allah Almighty has given us so many blessings. And Allah said if you was to count them, you won't be able to put a number how many He's given you. When you ask some people, what's the greatest blessing? He says, Imam said the Quran is the greatest blessing. There's no greater ni'mah than the Quran. I said to him, the Quran is a great blessing, great. But the greatest blessing is Nabi alayhi salam. He said, Dawlat-e-Iman, Iman is the greatest blessing. I say, my dear brother and sister, or dear brother or sister, the Iman is a great blessing. But Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the greatest blessing. There's a difference between great and greatest. These are great blessings, but the blessing of all blessings, the greatest blessing is Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. I don't say that, brother. I don't say that. Allah Almighty in the Quran said that. Allah Almighty in the Quran didn't say, is He the greatest blessing? Allah Almighty said, not only is He the greatest blessing, but He's also a favor. See, there's a difference here. The Quran, He argues. He said, you can't get better than the Quran. I said, no doubt. There is no greater book than the Quran. The Quran is the word of Allah Almighty. There's no doubt about it. But then I said, brother, who taught you the Quran? Brother, tell me, who taught you the Quran? Who brought the Quran to you? Who was the Quran revealed to? And he says with a very quiet voice, Nabi alayhi salam. Man, Adhan, ki chakda hai? Why you shy for? Say it. Don't be shy. Say it. Who taught you the Quran? Who was the Quran revealed to? You say it. You are Sunnis, you say it. Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. Who taught you the Quran? These people are okay. Those, I can't hear. I want everyone. Who taught me and you the Quran? If Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam taught you the Quran, taught the Quran, then what's greater? Allahu Akbar. Muallimul Quran, Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam taught me and you the Quran. The Quran came after Nabi alayhi salam came first. He said, Iman. Iman is the greatest blessing. I go, when did Iman come? When did Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam come? Iman is the name of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam.
Nare Takbir! Nare Risalah! Nare Haidari! Haidari!
Allah. Zindabad. Allahu Akbar. Zindabad. Allahu Akbar. How simple, eh? Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is the name of Iman. Allah Almighty in the Quran said, An-Nabiyyu awla bil-mu'minina min anfusihim. Allah Almighty said, Nabi alayhi salam is awla. You know what awla means? Awla in the Arabic language, and Maulana Qasim Nanotwi Sahab. Please mention it. Maulana Qasim Nanotwi Sahab has written that awla means aqrab. And aqrab is the ism tafdeel of the word qareeb. What does qareeb mean? Sufi Sahab, what does qareeb mean? Qareeb means near. In Arabic, what does aqrab mean? The nearest. Allah Almighty said, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, qareeb can also mean close. Aqrab means the closest. Allah Almighty in the Quran said, the Prophet of Allah Almighty is closer to you than even your own life. Even your own life.
Nare Takbir!
Nare Risalah. Adda kam na karna. Kare to pura. Ya Ali. Zindabad. An-Nabiyyu awla. An-Nabiyyu awla. Nabi alayhi salam is closer to the believers than even their own anfusihim. Allah Almighty didn't say closer to them than their life, than their money, than their children. There is nothing closer to you in your life than your own life. I'll give you an example. I'll break it down for you. This microphone is close. Yes or no? My jubba is closer. My jubba is close. This microphone is going further away. My jubba is close. But my jubba underneath, the white one, is closer. My jubba white one is close, but my vest underneath is closer. My vest is close, but my skin is closer. My skin is close, but my bones are closer. My bone is close, but my heart is closer. My heart is close, but where my life is closer to me. There is nothing closer to me than my life, my ruh. Allah Almighty in the Quran said, O believers, the Prophet of Allah is closer to you than even your own soul. Even your own soul. Where is Iman? Allah Almighty in the Quran said, أُولَٰئِكَ كَتَبَ فِي قُلُوبِهُمُ الْإِيمَانِ. Allah Almighty has engraved Iman in their hearts. Iman is in the heart. But Nabi alayhi salam is closer to you than even your own Iman. Iman is in your heart. Nabi alayhi salam is greater and closer to you than even your own Jaan. Even more than your own life. If your life means everything, that's the wrong mentality. Nabi alayhi salatu salam should mean everything to you. He should be closer to you than even your own self. Nabi alayhi salam has a greater right over you. They are more haqdar over you than even your own self. Allahu Akbar. Just before I begin or continue, if we can all shuffle forward, please. Hatta ke everyone stand up, stretch your legs, then move forward. Because many of you have sat here for a long time, there is a longer time to come. Now move forward, because I don't have long time to speak. Come to the stage. No mas'ala. Don't come on the stage. Just come. थोड़ा सा गैप है थोड़ा जरा घूमने वास्ते. And the ladies, I've been told you're still talking loud. Please, for those who are here to listen, allow them to listen, give them that much respect, please. Once you've, if you can settle down as well, please. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is closer to you than your own life. Iman is close, but Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is closer. And Nabi alayhi salam is the name of your Iman. Allahu Akbar. Understand it like this. Okay, the nur of your Iman, the nur of your Iman. What does nur mean? Light. The light of your Iman is Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Now imagine your Iman to be a light bulb. Imagine it to be a light bulb. You know what a light bulb is? How does a light bulb work? It needs a generator that will generate electricity that will give light to your light bulb. Every one of us who believes and reads the kalima has the light bulb in their heart. You know who the generator of the light bulb is? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are the one who generate light into our heart. If they knew, there's some people whose light bulbs have gone bust. They fused out. Some people believe the generator isn't alive. They believe Nabi alayhi salam is dead. If they believe Nabi alayhi salatu salam is dead, then how alive is the Iman? Your Iman is only alive when you believe Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam themselves are alive. This is why Ala Hazrat Azimul Barakat, Mujaddid Deen o Millat, Imam Ahle Sunnat, Shah Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatul wa ridwan, he said so beautifully, Chamak tujhse paate hai sab paane wale. I will try to do this in a tarz, join in with me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. चमक तुझसे पाते हैं सब पाने वाले, चमक तुझसे पाते हैं सब पाने वाले, मेरा दिल भी चमका दे चमकाने वाले, मेरा दिल भी आला हजरत साहब चमक तुझसे पाते हैं सब पाने वाले. चमक मीन्स एनलाइटमेंट. चमक तुझसे पाते हैं, enlightenment comes from you. सब पाने वाले, the one who gives to everyone. Then Ala Hazrat said in his ishq, in his love, मेरा दिल भी चमका दे चमकाने वाले. Oh, one who is enlightened, enlighten my heart as well. Then Ala Hazrat said, तू जिंदा है वल्लाह, तू जिंदा है वल्लाह, मेरे चश्मे आलम से छुप जाने वाले. Ala Hazrat said, तू जिंदा है वल्लाह, I pick a qasam by Allah, you are alive. I swear by Allah, you are alive. मेरे चश्मे आलम से छुप जाने वाले. But you know, from my eyes, it is hidden. I can't see this. You know who can see it? Those who have the basarat and the basar to see it. Those who have the noor in their eyes, they know Nabi alayhi salam is alive. You know who will ask? We'll ask the great Shadli Shaykh, Sayyidina Abu Abbas al-Mursi. Hazrat Abu Abbas al-Mursi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, who was the Khalifa Majaz of the great Abu Hassan al-Shadli. Abu Abbas Mursi said that I don't consider myself a believer except that every time if I blink my eye, I see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every time Abu Abbas or Mursi used to close their eyes, they used to see Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam in front. Shaykhul Muhaqqiq Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dahlavi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, the great Arif Billah, the great Shaykh of Hindustan, of Hind, the Muhaddis Azam Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dahlavi, he used to say, he was considered a scholar who every single day he used to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every day he had the didar of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti, over 70 times in their life, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam came to them, not when they were asleep, when they were awake. Over 70 times in the Alam-e-Bedari, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam used to come to Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah. Over 70 times. One day Shahabuddin Kustalani was in his house. He's a contemporary of Imam Suyuti. He went and knocked on Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti's door. Imam Suyuti didn't answer the door. Imam Suyuti remained quiet, didn't open. Imam Kastalani went home. After a while, Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti met Imam Kastalani, and Imam Kastalani said, Huzur, I came to your house, why didn't you open your door? He said, how can I open your door when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was in my house with me. Imam Suyuti, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was sat in front of him. Ala Hazrat said, Tu zinda hai wallah, tu zinda hai wallah. I pick a qasam by Allah, you are alive. If in the Quran Allah said, La taqulu liman yuqtalu fi sabilillah amwat, bal ahya'un. Allah Almighty in the Quran said, don't say, La taqulu, don't say, those who have died in Allah's way as dead murda. They are not murda. Bal ahya, but rather they are zinda. This is for maqam shahadat. Somebody who is a shaheed. Allah said, don't say with your tongue. You speak with your tongue, don't you? Allah said, don't say with your tongues. In another ayat of the Quran, Allah Almighty, La tahsabanna alladhina Qutilu fi sabilillah. Allah Almighty said, Guman bhi nahi karna. Don't even think. Never mind saying it. Don't even think in your mind that the one who has died in Allah Almighty's way is dead. He is not dead, he is alive. These ayat were revealed for who? Martyrs, mujahideen, soldiers who are fighting in Allah Almighty's way. Allah Almighty said, don't say they're dead, they're alive. Allah said, never mind saying, don't even think they are dead, they're alive. Who is greater, a martyr or a Nabi of Allah? Who is greater? Then badarj awla, ala hadha al-qiyas, upon this understanding, not only are martyrs alive, but by default and preference, the prophets of Allah Almighty are also alive. Every moment of a Nabi of Allah, fi sabilillah, is in the way of Allah Almighty. There are no greater martyrs than the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. They are the greatest. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alameen. Nabi alayhi salam said, my prayers, my sacrifices, my life, my death, everything is for Allah. Everything is for Allah Almighty. Maqam of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are not like me and you. Okay. So Allah Almighty sent Nabi alayhi salam. When you send a check or a letter, the check and letter has to be exist first before you send it. Allah Almighty sent Nabi alayhi salam, he existed first, then he sent it. Nabi alayhi salam existed even before the arrival into this world. Allah Almighty said the greatest favor that he has sent upon me and you is what? When he sent Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is ihsan azim. And Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is ni'mat uzma. Nabi alayhi salam is the greatest favor and the best blessing of Allah Almighty. There is no bigger blessing than Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Brothers and sisters, had Nabi alayhi salam not come, the Quran wouldn't have come. Had Nabi alayhi salam not come, Dawlat-e-Iman wouldn't have come. Had Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam not come, you wouldn't even have Islam today. Had Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam come, brothers and sisters, you wouldn't even know who Allah Almighty is today. If you knew Allah Almighty, then you knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They say, no. I say, give me proof, akhi. He says, I'll give you proof. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Allah Almighty said, He is one. The Nadan. Read it again. Read it again. He said, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. I said, hold on. Rewind. Qul. What does Qul mean? Allahu Akbar. What does Qul mean? Allah Almighty said, He didn't say, I am one. I am the unique. Nobody gave birth to me. Nobody, I don't give birth to anyone. I am absolute and unique. Allah didn't say I. Allah Almighty said, Qul. Shall I tell you in simple, maybe many of you don't understand Arabic. You know what Qul means? Qul is a command. Fi'lul amal. Allah is commanding Nabi alayhi salam by saying, Qala yaqulu. Qawl. What does qawl mean? To say, to speak. Allah Almighty said, Qul. Say. Who's going to say? Allah Almighty said, Habib, you tell them. Oh my beloved, you tell them, Qul. You tell them. What shall Allah Almighty's Prophet tell us? They told us, Huwa Allahu Ahad. Oh my beloved, I can tell them if I want to tell them that I am one. But no. I want you to tell them that I am one. That I am unique. Say, you tell them, He Allah, Who Allah, He Allah is one. Allahu Samad, Allah is unique. Lam yalid, He doesn't give birth. Walam yulad, nor has birth been given to Him. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And there is nothing equal to Allah Almighty. Brothers and sisters, who told us Allah is one? Who told you Allah is one? Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And they want to go to Allah, but they don't want Nabi alayhi salam. Allah Almighty came to me and you through Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, through the words of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, through the teachings of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And now you want to go back to Allah, but you don't want Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. You don't want Nabi alayhi salam. How can it be? You are going against the norm that Allah Almighty, the standard Allah has set. If you want to come to me, you can come to me on your own, there's no doubt. But if you want to get here quickly, if you want to get here express delivery, if you want to get there really quickly, then go to Allah's beloved. Go to their barda. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He favored. Brothers and sisters, if I do a favor for you, will you forget me? Never. You say, Imam Sahib, बहुत बड़ा एहसान किया. आपने बहुत बड़ा एहसान किया. Big favor you done on me. I will never forget you, Imam Sahib. I will always make dua for you. In your life, you must have come across somebody who's done such a big favor for you. Should I tell you who? Your mother. You know how many favors she's done for you? You can't get better than your mother. She's given you so much. Nare Takbir, Nare Risalat, Nare Risalat, Nare Risalat, Nare Tahqiq, Nare Haidari. MashaAllah, our guest speaker, Qibla Pir Abu Bakr Chishti Sahib, Maddazillahul Ali, they are here. You will never forget my favor. You will always remember me. That's if I do you a favor, brother. I am telling you, Allah in the Quran and said, I was talking about mothers. You know the amount of favors your mothers have done for you. When you fell down, they picked you up, brother. When you used to cry, they wiped the tears away. When you was upset, they asked you, why are you upset, my son? All of these things. When you were hungry, they fed you. When you needed clothes, they went and bought clothes for you. Aren't these favors? Do you think you'll ever repay your mother back? No matter how great you become, brothers and sisters, you will never be able to repay your parents. You can become the ghost of your time. You could become the data of your time. You could become the khwaja of your time. You could become the greatest qutb of your time. You could be the biggest gangster of your time. You could be the biggest pop star, superstar. But you will never be able to repay your mother and father. There are two people in your life, you will never be able to repay them. And today, look at how our young people treat our mothers and fathers. How you disrespect them. How you answer them back. How you think you know better than them. How you question their authority. Brother, you never question your best friend. Would you dare to question your mother and father? Allahu Akbar. This is the state we have come to. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said towards the end of time, people will begin to disrespect their mothers and fathers. And that time has come now. We will never be able to repay back the favor our mother and father has done. That's how great their favors are. Allahu Akbar. There's a Ford Fiesta, it's a dark blue colored RE62 VVJ. If you can please move this car. Ford Fiesta, dark blue RE62 VVJ. It's blocking a driveway. If you can please move that. Jazakumullah khair. We will never repay them back. Allah Almighty in the Quran has said that Allah Almighty has done a favor on you. You know, if you can't repay your mother and father back, does that mean you stop being good to them? Does that mean you stop thanking them? It doesn't, does it? You still thank them. You continue to do it until your last moment in this world. You continue to thank them. Allah Almighty said, Allah has favored upon you. Allah has done a favor on you. You tell me, brother, is there any favor greater than the favor of Allah? Brothers and sisters, are you listening? Is there any favor greater than the favor of Allah? There is no favor greater than the favor of Allah Almighty. And you know what Allah has said is His favor? His favor was and is that He sent Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. He sent the Prophet alayhi salam. If somebody does a favor, you thank them. Allah has done a favor, what do? We thank Allah Almighty. We thank Him for what? We say, oh Allah, we thank you that you sent Rasulullah alayhi salam to us, who guided us, who gave us iman. Common sense, brother. Common sense. This is not over the top. And can we repay back the favor to Allah? Never. Nobody can repay the favor of Allah Almighty back to Him. Because why? He is the creator, we are the creation. There is no equal between the creator and the creation. If we can't repay our mother and father back, does that stop us from thanking them? No, we still do it. If we can't repay the favor of Allah Almighty back, does that stop us from thanking Allah Almighty? No, we continue to thank Allah Almighty that He sent Rasulullah. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He sent Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam to us. You know why we are here? You know why we gather all the way throughout the year like this? To thank Allah Almighty. That, oh Allah, we thank you that you made us a Muslim. You made us in the ummah of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. There is no greater favor of Allah than Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, and we thank Allah Almighty for that. I finish with the final point about the concept of bid'ah. What is innovation? What is bid'ah? They say, كل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Every innovation is misguided. Every misguided act or actor, any misguided action is in the hellfire. You see what they say? They say Milaad Sharif, Mawlid, is an innovation. Therefore, whoever does a Mawlid is participating in an innovation. Those who participate in an innovation are going where? To the hellfire. Allah. Let's just analyze that. Do you think it's only us people sitting here doing Mawlid right now? You must be joking, brother. You know, If you go onto YouTube, you type Mawlid Singapore, you will find a Mawlid gathering in Singapore. You type Mawlid Turkey, you will find a Mawlid gathering in Turkey. You type Mawlid Somalia, you will find a Mawlid gathering in Somalia. You type Mawlid Australia, you will find a Mawlid gathering in Australia. You type Mawlid America, you will find a Mawlid gathering in America. You type Mawlid Japan, you will find a Mawlid gathering in Japan. Brothers and sisters, Mawlid isn't a Pakistani thing. Mawlid isn't a Brahmi thing. Mawlid is a universal act. Muslims, whether they are from Turkey, Africa, Arabia, Syria, Yemen, wherever they are in the world, those who love Rasulullah ﷺ remember the birth of Rasulullah ﷺ. They say, no. So if we are doing Mawlid, and millions of people in the world are doing Mawlid, according to them, they are all going to the hellfire. Oh, bachiye, haya. Oh, bachiye, they saved and we are doomed, right? They are saved. Wow. Subhanallah. I think only they will be saved, nobody else. Imam Suyuti is wrong. Ibn Hajar Asqalani is wrong. Imam Nawawi is wrong. Why? They all did Mawlid. They all did Mawlid. Are they going to the hellfire? Nadana, question, I dare you to say. I dare you to say that Imam Suyuti is going there. How can you even challenge Imam Suyuti rahmatullah alayh? Bahrul Ilm, the one who was given the title Ocean of Knowledge, who mastered over 50 sciences of the deen, who is a mufassir of the Quran, muhaddis of the deen, the greatest scholar of his time. Hatta they say he was the mujaddid of his time. They say he was the mujtahid of his time. Imam Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi said, doing the action of Mawlid is good. It's praiseworthy, and Allah Almighty will reward you for that. If they are saying they are right, then Imam Suyuti is wrong, isn't it? Is Imam Suyuti right or they right? We say Imam Suyuti is right. He's one of the ulama of the haqq, of the truth. Okay. They say bid'ah. Let me tell you, not every innovation is bad. And I'll prove it from the Sahaba. The Sahaba used to perform Salatul Taraweeh separately. They never read it together. In the Prophet ﷺ's time. When Nabi ﷺ passed away, in Abu Bakr Siddiq's time, they would read it alone, separately. In Sayyidina Umar's time, Sayyidina Umar said, we're going to get one Imam and all of you will read behind it. Nabi ﷺ never did this. Sahaba never did this. They said they were going to do this. When this was done, you know what Sayyidina Umar said? Ni'mal bid'atu hadihi. Imam Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiyallahu ta'ala an said, what a good innovation, what a good bid'ah. If it was bad, Sayyidina Umar said, no, don't do it. Why did he use these words? Muslim, there is good innovation and bad innovation. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah, what did he say? Al-bid'atu bid'atan. There are two types of bid'ah, good and bad. Bid'ah sayyi'ah and bid'ah hasana. Bid'ah madhmuma, bid'ah mahmuda. Good and bad innovation. If Mawlid is a bid'ah, now everything we do individually, none of these actions are bid'ah. Waving the flag isn't a bid'ah. Using a flag isn't a bid'ah. Decorating your house isn't a bid'ah. You know why? When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born, Sayyidah Amina said, Hazrat Jibreel came, and Allah Almighty showed me that Sayyidina Jibreel placed 3 flags. 1 flag in the heavens, 1 flag in Jerusalem, and 1 flag on the Kaaba Baytullah. 3 flags. We carry flags as well. Using decorating lights. Imam Suyuti narrates in his book, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, when I was born, Allah Almighty decorated paradise with diamonds and rubies. Out of the arrival, happiness for Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Now, Doing Naat Khani, to read the Naat, it's not a bid'ah. Nadan Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan was the poet of Rasulullah alayhi salam. They used to sing the praise of Rasulullah alayhi salam. So individually, it's not a bid'ah. Getting together, the ulama have said this is an innovation. Now you tell me, is it a bad thing to get together like this? You know what the ulama have said? The scholars who understand the deen, that it's a good innovation to get the people together so that they can remember Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. They can praise Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And if this is the point that we understand, that innovation is of two types, I leave this question with you. Is it good or is it bad? And if you think it's bad, brother, you need to sort your head out. You need to check your iman. Is it really bad to sit together to remember Allah and His Rasul? That's what we do. We remember Allah and His Rasul. That's it. Anything that is wrong is wrong. If a woman came here and sang, it's wrong. I'll be the first to reject that. If people, and you know people throw money. People shouldn't throw money. That's disrespectful to money. If you're going to give money, give money. People throw money at people. You know, if a poor man was sat here, you know what he'd say? These people have no qadr for mal and dawlat. They have no qadr for mal. There's no harm giving money. Give money. Give as much money as you like. Don't throw money like that. Money is a blessing from Allah Almighty. Put it up there. Leave it there. People come throw money. What do you think this is? It's true. It's wrong. People do this. These are, you know, why people attack me and you? Because we do stupid things. There's no harm doing jalus. Don't litter on the floor. Why are you littering on the floor for? Don't cause harm. When you do that, then you give ammunition to them. It's wrong, it's wrong. Then they go against me and you. People, you know why they have ammunition against us? They say only in Milaad time, these people become Muslim, Sunni. They don't read namaz. They don't read Fajr. They don't read Isha. How many of you have read Isha? Tell me. One by one, if I was to say how many read Isha, I'm not asking you, because that would be shameful for everyone else. I don't want to shame no one. Brother, doing Milad is a mustahab amal. It's not a fard, it's not a sunnah. Reading namaz is important. Respecting your parents is important. These are things that we need to go back to the basics. We have given too much emphasis to these things than giving emphasis to Allah and His Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam's deen. Don't be a part-time Muslim. Don't be a part-time Sunni. When Milad comes, the flags come out. Brother, if you're going to be a true lover of Rasulullah alayhi salam, a true lover, the first condition of his love, the first sign of his love is what? That he acts upon the sunnah of Rasulullah alayhi salam. He looks like Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. This is an entertainment. Because of the way we are and the way we take things, that's why people attack us. Allah Almighty give us tawfiq to act upon what I said. Allah forgive me if I said anything wrong. All good is from Allah Almighty. All wrong is from myself. وأقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.